Welcome back to Wizard PhD, it's Professor Lynette, and today I am doing a review of the new graphic novel Dark Agents, Book 1, Violet and the Trials of Trauma by Dr. Janina Scarlett and illustrated by Vince Alvendia. A little bit about the authors. Janina Scarlett, PhD, is a licensed clinical psychologist and an award-winning author. She is a Ukrainian-born refugee who survived Chernobyl radiation and persecution. Dr. Scarlett immigrated to the United States when she was 12 years old and later developed superhero therapy to help patients with anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Vince Alvendia is a freelance artist and illustrator native to San Diego, California. His work has been featured in the official souvenir books for San Diego Comic-Con International, which is where I first learned about these two at the Psychology of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts panel. I met them briefly a couple of years ago at Comic-Con at a book signing where I got copies of Harry Potter Therapy and Therapy Quest. I will note that Dr. Scarlett is a proud Slytherin and Vince is a proud Hufflepuff, and I did buy some awesome artwork that's up here on my shelf where we have some of our favorite Hufflepuff characters from the Harry Potter world. Now, these names might sound familiar to you because they are also the people who brought Harry Potter Therapy to life. Now, you can check out my series on Harry Potter Therapy where I review each chapter of the book from the lens of my own personal experiences as I use the book to apply ideas from the Harry Potter series for a healing journey. So I definitely recommend checking out these other books. So Harry Potter Therapy, Therapy Quest, which is an RPG-based choose your own journey type book. And both of these links are going to be in the description down below. Today, though, we are talking all about Dark Agents, so let's get into this book review. Full disclosure, I did get an advanced reader copy that I was able to look at in my review, but I also purchased my own because I wanted to see the beautiful color pages and see these characters really pop on the page. So stay tuned to the end of the video for a chance to win a copy of this book in a giveaway. Okay, a summary. Meet Violet, a young witch whose parents were murdered by a necromancer when she was a child. Running from country to country as well as from herself, Violet never gets a chance to fully process her traumatic experience. Then, at age 19, her life takes a drastic turn. Violet begins training at the Underworld Intelligence Agency in hopes of becoming a dark agent, someone tasked with keeping the balance between the world of the living and the world of the undead. As she battles monsters and ghouls, Violet learns to conquer her inner demons as well. Blended seamlessly throughout the story are elements of a powerful treatment called acceptance and commitment therapy. Whether or not you've experienced a traumatic event like Violet, you'll find real skills you can apply to your own life to help you hone your unique superpowers. Okay, the first thing I would like to note is that I don't typically read graphic novels. However, I could not put this book down. I read it in one sitting. It was very captivating and really brought me into this new world, and I was kind of surprised that I was so encapsulated by the characters and what was going on, and it was really a fascinating read. I found it really easy to become immersed in Violet's world, not just because of the storyline that's in here, but also because of the illustrations and going from panel to panel and really attributing that to Vince's art in here and the story provided by Dr. Scarlett. And the geeky part of me that, like the academic professor part of me just really wanted to analyze everything in here because there's so much detail. And as someone who doesn't personally read a lot of comics, like being able to read what is conveyed and being sucked into the emotions of characters and feeling the vibes, really, of what is happening in this story. That was something really cool for me to experience. Like, how do you choose as an artist what sorts of expressions to put on characters' faces? Like, what's in the foreground? What's in the background? How to capture a scene? How much space to take? Like, all of these, design elements and decisions. I don't know, it's super interesting. But fangirling aside, really, I really appreciate getting into this new world. So like, of course, I love Harry Potter, but I also love thinking about, what are these ideological conflicts between beings and how is that historically situated? How is it shaped over time? How does it change? How does it affect individual characters? And all of that is present. Like, all of those complexities are in this story. And this is the first book of a series, so I won't tell you what happens, but the ending definitely left me on a cliffhanger, so subscribe me to all of the future books that are coming out in this series, because I definitely need to know what happens next. Now, as I mentioned from the summary briefly, this book is intended to support teens and young adults, help with managing mindfulness and self-love. And so that is an important aspect, and it's interwoven through the story, through the dialogue. But it also doesn't feel like the traditional self-help type book, which I think makes it really, really interesting to read, and something that is good to share with teens and young adults. So as an educator myself, I highly recommend this book to be on teachers' bookshelves, readily available for students to be able to explore and go on a journey with Violet. And what I really appreciate is that we have this main character, this young witch, who is dealing with emotional trauma, and you go with her on this journey, and you're able to see aspects of yourself reflected possibly in her as she struggles. It's not this like very clean, easy thing. And so that's what I really appreciate. I appreciate the messiness. I appreciate the struggle, and how difficult it can be to work through a trauma and to process emotions, to embrace them. And that's definitely present in this book. As I was reading, I related a lot to Violet, and my parents were never murdered by an evil necromancer, but I have talked a lot on this channel about my experiences being diagnosed with lupus, which is a chronic autoimmune disease. So like Violet, it took a lot for me to stop avoiding my emotions and to be able to talk about my own story with lupus. And so part of that is being able to share some of my stories on the channel in different videos. And my most recent one was for the Wizards Unite Wizarding Spotlight, where I talked about my relationship with lupus, moving to a new place and all of that, and how Wizards Unite was helpful in that journey. And I did notice that in the filming and talking about my experiences, it was a little bit easier than the times before when I had talked about lupus. And it's interesting because it's part of this processing. I'm not avoiding the emotions. I'm actively telling my story, retelling it, processing how it makes me feel. And I didn't realize that that dynamic is actually what makes up components of acceptance and commitment therapy, where I had to accept the emotions and feelings that I was experiencing as normal, as valid, and accept my situation at hand, and to commit to action of, okay, what is it that I'm doing now? What is it that I'm doing next? How am I moving forward? And all of that is embedded in this text, which again, it's not like this step-by-step thing. It's kind of ingrained in the dialogue and how characters are processing. So it's kind of cool to see that as well. So all that to say that although this is probably targeted to young adults and teens, that I found a lot of value and entertainment out of it, as well as an older adult, I guess. I don't know what to characterize myself as. And that really is attributed to the story that is created by Dr. Scarlett and how Vince made the story and characters come to life through the illustrations. And something that is signed in my book from Dr. Scarlett is embrace the dark and guard the light. And those words are really sticking home for me because of what I've been going through for the past, year of my life, and really what it takes to, have this processing going on. You're embracing the darkness, yeah, but you're also guarding the light to keep you going. And I think that that's a beautiful message to share, especially with young people, with this book. As of March 1st, 2020, Dark Agents is available in paperback and ebook formats, and I actually just requested my library to consider purchasing an ebook version for our catalog so that it's available for our communities as well. So I would definitely recommend checking out your local libraries and bookstores. Now let's get into the details for this giveaway. As with previous giveaways, you can check out the Gleam link below, and this is for a copy, a paperback copy that has the full color illustrations of this book. And you can enter, you can see the ways to enter. This will be available until March 15th, 2020, and I'll be drawing the names on March 16th. And then there's actually also another giveaway from Goodreads, and this is for my fans in the United States. So if you are on Goodreads, you can enter. There are 10 copies available, and as of recording this video, 1,000 people have currently entered, and you can enter between, well, now until March 5th. So you only have a few days to get your entry in, and that's for a chance to win one of 10 copies of Dark Agents from Goodreads. Finally, there are affiliate links down in the description, so you can check out On Bookshop, which is actually a new venue that I have found. Their mission is to support local bookstores, so part of the purchasing price will go to local bookstores to support them. And then there's also, of course, Amazon links as well. So check out all of the information down in the description below. Thanks for watching. I really enjoyed going on a journey with Violet and her friends in Dark Agents Book 1, and I cannot wait for more books to be released in this series so I can follow up on this story. Be sure to check out Dr. Scarlet's other books. Check out Vince Alvandia's artwork and illustrations. All of the links are down below, and until next time, Juan's ready.